and Leander Dendoncker of... Hello ladies and gentlemen, I'm back and I'm the same as before. I've sort of realised over the last couple of weeks about the lack of Wolves content on YouTube at the moment, with Tim Spears leaving the Express and Star. Tim Nash is a little bit hit and miss. There's no mystery Portuguese tweeter to give us any hope. So I thought perhaps I'd sum up the last couple of weeks, or the last couple of days really, of transfer rumours and try and get back into a habit of doing these. Because I think it's been 2 weeks or maybe a little bit longer since I've done a video. So today, the 1st of July, is the real start of the transfer window, because today's the day where players who have been signed previously can be registered and can join their teams, which is why the news about Dendoncker has reared its head again today. We all knew back last August transfer window that we had an obligation to buy him. Now, some people on Facebook don't understand what the word obligation means. That means that we had to buy him, regardless of how good a season he was or how good a player he was. We were obliged to sign him for £12 million. And if you consider what Aston Villa have just spent on Matt Targett, I think that, it just emphasises what a good bargain our top guys drive. So well done to them. Ryan Giles has joined Shrewsbury as well on a loan deal, which has been spoken about for a long time. I think some people were possibly thinking that he'd have some sort of role to play in the Europa League season, but it doesn't look to be that way. He's going out to Shrewsbury. And then we've been linked with Konsa from Brentford, the right-sided centre-back, at £12 million. Now, I don't know a lot about him. I couldn't have said that I've seen him. I probably have seen him play, but watching him little clips on YouTube, he looks incredible. He looks very, very talented, very, very secure on the ball, a lot like Willy Bolly. He's only 21, he's played for the England under-21s as well, so he would be a fantastic capture, I think, and one for the future. Also, the news on Edson Alvarez, the Mexican centre-back, that's a little bit unclear at the moment. The very, very limited source that I've got, which is a friend of mine who goes to the same barber as Nuno, and before you tell me that Nuno's bald, I know he's bald, but do you think he trims that beard himself? He does. He gets that done professionally. He's mentioned to me about this Mexican defender. However, there have been rumours that he's going to Ajax, because obviously De Ligt is going to Juventus, so it looks certain that De Ligt is going. So they are also in the market for a centre-back, and Edson Alvarez looks to be that kind of a... fits the mould for Ajax, a young, very talented centre-back, but he is not going to make a decision, or the decision is not going to be made on him until he comes back from the Gold Cup. Now, that does sound like a sort of clause that Wolves would insist upon, that we don't want a player who's not ready to join up with the squad straight away because we've got a game in 3 weeks, 4 weeks. So that could, but it could also be that Ajax have come in for him, and that's why we've had to look elsewhere, because obviously they can offer them Champions League football. And finally, all the Portuguese players and Leander Dendoncker have joined back into training today at St George's Park, England, HQ. And from the little videos and stuff that they've put on over the last couple of days, I've sort of realised that there's so many of the under-23s who are taking part in training, which suggests that in this early part of the season, when the games are congested and the pre-season is mostly European games, we hope, that could mean that they are blooded quite a lot in there. We've seen players like Terry Taylor, who I saw 2 years ago playing against AFC Wolverhamptonians, which that game I think is this Saturday, the first pre-season game for the under-23s. He's 18, coming into that first team squad training now. Benny Ashley-Seal has been there as well. So it would be interesting to see if any of those manage to get into the first team in these Europa League games. As well as that, Miranda and Bonatini have also joined up with the squad. I'll be very, very surprised if they do play any part in the Premier League season and also the Europa League. I can't see either of them really making their mark in that. One final piece of news on the Europa League. AC Milan have sort of forgone their participation in this year's competition, which means that we are now a seeded team for the playoff round, which is the round that Burnley fell at last year. And that's a massive thing, really, because if you look at the list of teams that we would have had to play against had we have been an unseeded team, it's a very, very tricky route to the group stage. So it's actually a huge piece of news that I think got overlooked a little bit last week when that was announced. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed today's update. If you have, drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll be back when there is some more news, and hopefully over the next week or so there will be regular news to bring you. I hope you like my tan and my long hair. Anyway, thank you very much. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.